All right, chat. Hopefully y'all get on in here. We definitely going to talk about this because, bro, I'm telling y'all, I'm starting to think that people in my chat room don't understand a lot of things about the law. I'm really starting to believe this, and it's bothering me. It's bothering me that people, you can put all kind of evidence in front of their face, and they will find any reason in the world to ignore the actual evidence and still slander a person's name, even though you show them evidence. This is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in. We live in a vicious, mean world where people will judge you without even knowing anything about you personally, right? All these people that have ran their mouths and talked about Joe McCann don't even know that man, right? I don't know him, but you know the thing we do know? We know he dropped them text messages. We know he dropped them photos. We know he dropped evidence that helped, right, prove his side of the story, right? But guess who gets slandered? Joe McCann. Joe, it's hilarious in this world that we live in. So Joe McCann gets slandered, right? They think about this, and this ain't a white thing. This ain't a black thing. This is a right thing. Joe McCann gets slandered on social media about all of these people. I want y'all to really think about the world we live in, right? He gets slandered about all these people who aren't even there, who don't know the man. Think about this, right? And I showed y'all all of the evidence I showed y'all earlier today. And people still want to come. I knew they was going to do it. This is the world we live in. But I came today to tell you guys the situation with Joe McCann. If he, first of all, he would be the most unintelligent person in the world. I want y'all to really think about this because I have to break this down to my viewers. Chat, I have to break this down to everybody that's listening to this video. Y'all press 1 if y'all can hear me. And make sure we get a mic check first. Let me know if y'all can hear me in the comments, because I have to make sure everybody can hear, and I want you to comprehend and listen to what I'm saying. All right? I want you to listen to what I'm saying, because what I'm putting out here to everybody is 100% factual truth. I don't come on here, I don't put out fake cap innuendos, none of that. I'm not going to say something. If I don't have the paperwork, I'm not putting on the screen. If I don't have some type of legitimate backing, I'm not putting it on the screen. So I need everybody to understand what I'm saying to y'all in this chat. Now, can y'all hear me? Okay, you say you can hear me? Hold on, y'all. You say you can hear me? Hold on, you guys. I'm going to let y'all know this right now. And I'm not going to take so long. Okay? I'm going to let everybody know this right now. All right? Please listen to what I'm saying to y'all in this video. Okay? I want everybody to hear this because y'all need to hear it. Joe McCann. Don't y'all know? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. What the hell is that? Oh, okay. Don't y'all know if he's lying? Don't y'all know that he would be the stupidest person in America to come out and put out all these text messages if it were fake? He would be the dumbest person in the world to put out all of these messages if it were fake. I really need us to use comprehension here, you guys. I really need that. This is very important. If y'all saying all this is all ticket is Photoshop, it's fake. He faked the messages. He's a tech guy. This is all the foolishness people are saying in the comment section. I need y'all to understand some things about the law. Joe McCann would be the most unintelligent person in the world if he put out fake information. Do you know why? Just him, if he would have just put out this fake information, he would face up to 20 years in prison fed time. Let me repeat that. Let me repeat that. This is why you haven't heard the parents say nothing. Nobody's asking, hey man, why did the parents ain't drop the phone records? No, you don't want to answer that question. You got 1,000 excuses for the parents. I don't have no excuse. That's her parents. Her parents can clear all this up, drop the voice, her phone records, have the daughter drop the daughter's records, and then the mother drop her records, and they can clear all this up and say, hey, they can prove if they think that Joe McCann is a liar, if they think he's a fraud. Now, I'm not saying that they said that. I'm saying to all the people that's in the comment section that are saying that, right? Because Joe McCann came out and dropped receipts. He dropped receipts, and I showed them on to you on this channel. All these are receipts he dropped. All messages and photos from situations with this, and they're still questioning them in the chat room. This is how insane our world is, and our world has gotten, where you can't even speak common human sense to people. I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying. We cannot speak common sense to people without sense being common. We can't do it. I really want y'all to think about this, because it is a serious situation in the United States of America for people to not understand the law. Joe McCann, I want to break this down in the most layman terms possible. He would be the most unintelligent person in the world to have allegedly beat a murder case in Zanzibar, come to the United States and then show everybody all the text messages and photos and they were fake. That would be a federal crime. He would face up to 20 years in prison for that. And then if they found out he was lying and they found out that he committed the unforgivable sin, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Let me say it to y'all again like this, right? Then he will be facing life in prison, because guess why? He can still be charged in the United States of America. Now, let me go ahead and get right to the nitty gritty, because I already showed y'all all these messages. Y'all want to see my other video? Check my other video, man. I showed y'all all these photos, all the text messages. I gave y'all the whole breakdown on what he said about all this stuff. And people were still in the comment section running their mouth, still don't want to comprehend plain English and understand that the law in the United States of America, guess what? He can still be prosecuted if he's lying. So don't you think if he was lying, his parents, Ashlee Jenae's parents, would have took all that information and they would have took all her phone records? Because all he had to do is go down to the phone company, get all her phone records. Don't you think they would have took all that to the cops and said, look what he put out. He lied on our daughter. He lied on us. He said all these messages, they're not real. They're not going to do that, Lebowski. You know why? Because Joe's telling the truth. Now, you might not like it. You might not want to accept it. In life, a lot of people don't want to accept reality. But we're going to shove reality down you guys' throats today, because it needs to be spoken like this. Right? Now, let's look right here. Is it a crime if Joe McCann faked messages with Ashlee Jenae to cover for a murder? Let's look. Yes, fabricating messages to cover up a murder is a severe criminal offense across virtually all legal jurisdictions, right? Though it is critical to note that Tanzanian authorities have officially cleared Joe McCann of wrongdoing and ruled Ashlee Jenae's tragic April 2026 death a taking of her own. If a hypothetical scenario arises where an individual fakes digital communications to conceal a homicide, prosecutors can file serious criminal charges in the United States of America. Yes. To the person who says, can they still prosecute in America? Yes, they're Americans. You can be, if you're an American and you unalive an American overseas, you can still be prosecuted in the United States of America. This is what people don't understand. That's why I keep telling people don't know the law. This man would be the most unintelligent man in the world if he came out here and dropped fake receipts. Obstruction of justice. Deliberately, you guys, creating false evidence or deleting real communications to mislead investigators constitutes obstruction of justice. This offense applies to anyone who willfully corrupts or impedes the administration of justice. tampering with evidence, fabricating text messages, emails, or direct messages false directly under tampering with physical or electronic evidence. In most criminal codes, altering digital records to deceive a police investigation is a felony. Accomplice after the fact misprision of a felony. If someone creates a fake message to cover up a murder committed by another person or anything, they can be charged as an accomplice after the fact, and this means they knowingly assisted a felon in avoiding arrest, trial, or punishment. That's if anybody helped him create any fake message. Are y'all not listening to what I'm saying to y'all? This is why I tell y'all, in the United States of America, it's not common for people to have common sense. Forgery and identity theft. Depending on how the messages were simulated, such as logging in the victim's profile or spoofing their phone number, the act can trigger additional charges of digital forgery, unauthorized access to a computer system, or criminal identity theft. Context of the case, actual context. While public speculation and online rumors circulated following the passing of Ashlee Jenae in Zanzibar, a comprehensive multi-month investigation by the Zanzibar police force officially concluded that in June of 2026, no other person was involved in her death. Joe McCann cooperated as a witness and was never arrested or charged with a crime and was fully cleared to return to the United States of America. Now let's keep going. What are the charges in prison time if he did that? Fake messages. Because the real world investigation by Tunisia concluded, right, that no crime took place and Ashlee Jenae tragically died by unaliving herself, there are no charges in prison time against Joe McCann. He was fully cleared of any wrongdoing by the Zanzibar police force. However, in a generic legal context, where a hypothetical individual fabricates digital records to intentionally cover up a murder, the specific criminal charges and potential sentences under the United States federal law and state laws are broken down below. Tampering with physical and electronic evidence. Altering, creating, fabricating electronic data like text message, direct messages to mislead a police investigation is a severe felony. It's on the federal level, it will be federal because this crime happened overseas. Federal level, U.S. 18 Code 1519, obstruction of justice via destroying or fabricating records. The penalty is severe, carrying a maximum sentence up to 20 years in federal prison. Do you think Joe McCann is going to say, hey, I beat a murder case over in Zanzibar? He didn't have a reason to say anything else ever again. He's putting out the messages to eat to these clowns that called him a liar and that are calling him a liar online. So when he comes sue their ass, he got evidence when he brings it to court too that he showed this and displayed this to the whole world, right? Now, think about what I'm saying to y'all. I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying to y'all, and let's be very, very clear, right? Accomplice after the fact. If an individual fakes messages to cover up a murder committed by someone else, right? They become an accomplice after the fact. That means if anybody helped Joe McCann and faked any messages for him, they're an accomplice. Let's keep going, right? Obstruction of justice. Providing fabricated evidence directly to law enforcement officers doing a homicide investigation triggers separate obstruction, right? Now, let's get right here to the nitty-gritty. Can the United States authorities investigate messages released by Joe McCann for authenticity? Yes, the United States federal authorities possess the legal power and technical capability to investigate digital messages for authenticity, but they can only do so if a valid U.S. jurisdictional trigger exists. Because the Zanzibar Police Department officially closed its investigation and ruled Ashlee's death a tragic suicide, no active U.S. criminal case exists against Joe McCann. However, federal agencies like the FBI, if they were to initiate a review, either due to jurisdictional trigger or assist foreign partners, they would utilize specific legal forensic framework to verify those communications. How the U.S. authorities can assert jurisdiction. The U.S. law enforcement cannot freely investigate a close incident that they occurred entirely on foreign soil. To examine messages released by an individual in this scenario, federal legal authorities will require one of the legal openings, the 18 U.S.C. 1119 trigger. Under the federal domestic violence homicide offense, the U.S. government has extra-territorial jurisdiction to investigate and prosecute a U.S. citizen who kills another U.S. citizen abroad. If credible, independent evidence emerged suggesting a homicide rather than a suicide, federal agencies could initiate an investigation. Mutual legal assistance treaties. Foreign governments frequently request technical aid from the FBI's Operational Technology Division to analyze complex digital evidence. If international investigators request assistance, the U.S. authorities can legally audit the digital data. Also, interstate fraud and cybercrime. If the messages were manipulated or fabricated using U.S.-based servers, communication applications, or cell networks, federal agencies could open an investigation based on domestic wire fraud, identity theft, or computer crimes. How do federal forensic experts authenticate messages? If the U.S. agencies obtain the data, the FBI's digital forensic team do not simply look at screenshots. They examine the raw data using specialized techniques, subpoenaing the cloud and app servers. Authorities use federal grand jury subpoenas or warrants to compel platforms such as Apple, Meta, or Google to hand over server-side logs. They match the message against the platform's central database to ensure the text, timestamps, and routing data are authentic. Metadata analysis. Investigators extract the metadata from the files or devices. This reveals the precise time a message was created, the specific device used, the GPS coordinates, and whether the file has been altered by editing software. Network provider logs. Agencies must request tower and IP routing logs from telecommunication companies. If a message claims to have been sent from a specific room at a certain hour, a cellular ping data must physically match that specific location. Meaning, if Joe McCann was to fake a message from her phone or take her phone and put it in his phone, guess what? He would get caught if he was lying, because the cell phone data pings your exact location or what room you were in at this time. Remember, they were in separate villas. Use your mind. Let's keep going. That's why I tell y'all, it ain't common to have common sense no more. Look at the next question. I asked all the questions for you guys, and I got all the legal answers. Could this open a new murder investigation if messages are proven fake or falsified? So, if any of the messages that Joe McCann has displayed to the entire world today, which all these people running around here saying, oh, I don't believe it, man. It's a lie, man. I don't believe those messages. Don't y'all know that he has opened himself up to an investigation if this is a lie? Why don't y'all tell that girl parents, if Joe McCann is lying, go tell her mama, go tell her daddy to go take her phone records to the FBI. I bet y'all won't do that. All y'all gonna do is sit on YouTube and keep running your mouth talking about, I believe Joe did it. Shut up the hell up. Tell her parents to take them text messages or take her phone records to the FBI and say, FBI, Joe McCann has displayed messages we feel as if he fabricated. We have subpoenaed her real messages. I want y'all to think about this, right? We have subpoenaed her real messages, right? And to the person who said he's not on an investigation, you're not listening. I never said he's on an investigation. MRNO cap. If you listen to the video and you understand and use your brain, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Know your role and shut your mouth. Or rewind the video and listen to what I said at first so you understand what we saying now. Don't come in here running your mouth if you don't know what the hell we talking about. Straight up, bro. Don't come in here running your mouth if you don't know what we're talking about. This whole video is a response to all the people who came into my video earlier today and tried to say, oh, Ticket, but those are fake messages. You would be a fool to think that this man, who have already been found not even liable in the death of Ashlee Jenae, they've already ruled that she took herself out. He would then be a fool to come out and release fake messages, because now that he's in the United States, he's released any fake, if he released any fake messages, he would himself be under in federal investigation and face up to 20 years in prison. And not only that, he would also face a potential new murder investigation that could put him in prison for life. Are y'all not understanding what I'm reading to y'all right now? So, could this open a new murder investigation if messages are proven fake or falsified? Yes. If any messages released to the public or authorities were proven to be fake or falsified, it could legally trigger an opening of a new murder investigation. That's why I told y'all. Joe McCann opened the door by Joe McCann putting the messages out there. All the girl parents got to do, tell her parents, everybody that's on YouTube, stop coming on YouTube lying and capping. Go tell her parents, hey, Joe came out and put out these messages from y'all daughter. Y'all need to go and tell the phone company to take y'all records and get it to the FBI. They can go charge Joe right now in the United States. I guarantee you they won't do it. You know why? Because Joe McCann's not lying. He ain't lying. The message is real. Only a fool will put out fake messages and open himself up to a new investigation. See, when you don't use your brain and you don't think, you come on internet and say crazy foolishness in the comment section. This is what happens when you don't use your mind. If that man, here's the whole point. I want to explain this to people who don't understand English. If Joe McCann came out and put out false messages from Ashlee Jenae, or false messages to her mother or anybody else, that is a federal crime. That is a federal crime. Not only is it a federal crime, that would open him to a whole new investigation and would potentially open him to a whole new investigation if they find out that he falsified these messages. He didn't fake those messages. I guarantee you his parents won't come out. Excuse me, her parents, Ashlee Jenae's parents won't come out and say, yo, we're going to drop the phone records. He lying about those text messages. I promise you they won't. People on YouTube will say this. Her parents will not say that now. This man dropped all those text messages in there and photos. Once again, tell her mother and tell her father, drop her phone records. Tell the phone, go to the phone company, get her phone records. Tell her parents, if this man is lying, that means he'll be covering up a murder according to y'all. Tell them to go dig up her phone records and take them to the authorities. I guarantee you they won't do it. You know why they won't do it? Because he's telling the truth. And he did not fake those messages. And he did not fake those photos. And he did not fake those outgoing calls where she canceled every single time. You guys got to stop believing foolishness on YouTube. It's sad. Smash the like button as y'all come in here, man. I be trying to put people on game, but they don't want to get game. This is the sad part, right? They don't want to respect. Like when you tell them something real on YouTube, they don't want to respect that, man. It is very sad, bro. It's very accusing people of high crimes you don't have no evidence about. You listen to some old washed up lady overseas telling lies. She ain't even in that country, right? Look at this. Look at this, you guys. He's showing messages. And somebody said, well, how did he get the message from? He already said in there that she screenshotted and sent this to him. He would have proof of that. Don't y'all understand this? Once again, so ask this question. Why haven't the parents come out and debunked any of this evidence I'm showing y'all that this man dropped? Any of these messages, why ain't the parents came out? The parents ain't came out and they won't come out and debunk this. You know why? Because the messages ain't fake. And he would be a fool to do it. Listen, he would face an active U.S. investigation if he faked this. Right? Right? Can he be charged in the United States with her murder if authorities can prove it even though she died in a different country? Yes, the United States can absolutely charge and prosecute him for murder even though the death occurred in a different country. Right? If the United States authorities uncovered definite proof, such as verified forensic evidence that digital messages were fabricated to stage a suicide, they could legally exercise extra-territorial jurisdiction to bring federal charges. Meaning, Joe McCann will be the dumbest dude in America to come out, release messages that are fake. Let me say this again. Release messages that are fake just to open himself up to a federal investigation. You will be a damn fool. If Joe McCann was lying, he would not be transparent. He would not say anything ever. He would let it go. But I tell you one thing, if Joe McCann is lying and these messages are fake, like all of y'all conspiracy theorists are saying on YouTube, and all y'all trying to find another reason to cap and blame somebody you don't even know. When this man dropped receipts, something that her parents didn't do. Now, ask her parents. Ask her parents Ask her mother, is that message real with her and Joe? On the screen right there. Tell her mom to drop the phone records to see if that message is real right there on the phone. On the phone. That's on the news. See, the news ain't running this without authenticating his messages. They're not running this without authenticating these messages. They're not trying to get sued, bro. You guys got to understand that. They're going to authenticate those messages before they run this story, bro. And not only that, tell her mom to come out and drop her phone records. This will clear everything up. Matter of fact, they can get a free United States investigation, which y'all been calling on. If he were to fake any messages, her parents would get a free United States of America federal investigation into Joe McCann. That's what y'all been asking for. So tell her mama and her daddy to go and drop the phone records of the mom and the daughter. Drop their phone records. And let's see if the messages really existed. I guarantee you they won't do it. You know why they won't do it? You know why they won't do it? Because Joe's telling the truth. And if he were lying, the stupidest thing in the world you can do is come out, if you're lying, and drop fake text messages. That would open up an entirely new investigation. Salute everybody. Love everybody. Honor everybody. Use your brains. Y'all still gonna come watch. It's still gonna be people in the comment section. I don't care what you say. No. Ain't about what I say. Tell her mama and her daddy to release the phone records. Don't get mad at me. Tell her mama if Joe is lying. Don't you think if he's lying, now she got him red-handed if he's lying. All she would have to do is drop Ashlee's phone records from the phone company and prove that Joe fabricated those texts that they never happened. Prove it. Tell her parents to come out and prove that those pictures that Joe dropped right here is not their daughter. Don't you think her parents would be like, that's not my daughter? You got people on YouTube saying, that's not her. Her mom and daddy ain't say it. Her mom and daddy ain't say it. Her mom and dad told you they didn't know nothing. Joe McCann dropped the actual text message with that girl's mama, telling her mama that girl told him that she attempted take herself before. So what the hell is y'all talking about? Use your mind. There go the message right there. Look at it. It's right there on your screen. Look at it, y'all. He told her right at the bottom, her behavior is similar to what I experienced when we were on our snowboarding trip a few weeks ago. Something minor between us set her off. It got to a point of her sharing things with me that I was unaware of as her prior suicide attempts when she was a teenager. He told her mom that. The mom said, I ain't know. He told her mom this in April. Ask the mom, is that a lie? Is that true? Tell the mom. And while y'all asking the mom and the dad these questions, ask them to also show receipts of what they did with all the donation money that they got. And while y'all at it, ask them, why didn't you just get an overnight passport, emergency passport, and go to Zanzibar for y'all's daughter? Y'all got $60,000 in donations. Over that. It's being reported. Y'all don't want to ask that. Y'all want to sit up here and talk about, Joe. No. Talk about her parents. So the person said they haven't said anything. No, they did say something. They said that they said that they actually tried to insinuate things on Joe. What are you talking about? Look it up. Look it up. Go back and look at the video before this. I did a whole 2-hour video breaking this down. Every aspect of this down. I did a whole 2-hour video breaking it down. Look it up. Look it up. And you seek and you will find. But when people come on social media, lying, capping, and all this other stuff, this is where the game gets disgusting. Joe McCann would be the biggest fool in the world, and I mean in the world, if he was lying. He would be the biggest fool in the world to come out and put out fake messages, because that would open him up to a federal investigation. Because now that he put these photos out here, the feds can say, okay, we'll investigate to see if those messages are real. He knows that. Why would he sabotage himself? People got to use their brains, bro. That's why I tell y'all, YouTube is disgusting, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Tell her parents to drop her phone records. If Joe is lying about all these messages, I guarantee you her parents won't come out and say he made those messages up. You know why they won't say that? Because Joe ain't lying. He didn't make those messages up. And Joe, he documented a lot of this stuff, which was smart to do. He loved that girl. Whether you think so or not, he loved Ashlee. Because most dudes would have just said, man, once a girl started acting like that, like showing emotional swings, they'd have got up out of there. He really tried to stand with her. Y'all sad for what y'all did to that man because he white, man. That's not right, bro. It's not right, man. I don't move like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I told you I only roll like that if a person is racist or something like, bro, y'all did that to that man just because y'all felt the way, bro. That was sad what y'all seen y'all did. That's not right. You wouldn't want nobody to do you like that. That's not right, man. I call it how I see it. Like, share, subscribe. If he lied about any of those messages, he's opened himself to a whole federal investigation. He ain't doing that. He's not no dummy. It's hard to fake metadata. All these things that only the phone company can provide you. Location. When the texts are made, it's hard for him to be in two different places. Have her phone and his phone and be in this place and that place texting each other at the same minute. It's hard.